Hello and welcome to a new Let's Ride series. Woo! I am heading off to the continental mainland for a while, where a while is like basically the entire month of August. I thought I'd do a bit of filming. I've been kind of ambivalent about the YouTube channel for a while because it's a lot of work and I don't have a lot of subscribers. But I figured, sure, why not? You know, I've gone off on this big trip, it'd be a good thing to record a whole bunch of it for the memories and stuff. And if I'm going to do that, I may as well do YouTube stuff. So, it's Let's Ride time. It is 20 to 9 in the morning. My clock is still wrong. I've just come out of Nottingham and the weather is cool, I want to say. Cool might be the wrong word, given that my thermostat is 21 degrees. This thermostat is not very reliable though. It's cloudy but not overcast. There's a very, very low chance of rain pretty much the whole day. I think once I get down the southern parts of the country, it's going to be sunny. But hopefully not too sunny. The temperature predictions are not very high. Sort of like peaking in the low 20s. But yeah, this is gonna be a fun trip. I'm gonna see some new places I've not been to before. I'm gonna go on some amazing roads that I have done before and some amazing roads that I have not done before. I'm gonna have some time to spend in like cities along the way, and excuse me, I am going to see some friends. I'm going to see some friends along the way. That's going to be really good. Sometimes it's hard to see my international friends like outside of conventions and stuff, so it's going to be really good to get the chance to go and visit some of them. And yeah, I've been looking forward to it for a while, and like despite that, it kind of crept up on me like the actual departure did. Yeah, it's going to be pretty good. And right at the end of it, the last bit, I've contrived to be in Berlin for Eurotour, which is a furry convention, and I've already sent a bag along with a friend. I mean, I sent a bag along with a friend. I gave a bag to a friend to bring with him to the convention so that I would have extra convention stuff. But I do, if you can see that, have a large bag on this bike with a first aid in it because I like first aiding with my friends. This does not mean that I'm going to do stuff like, you know, take first aid photos at the top of one passes or anything. It's too much of a pain to get it out of the bag for that, but it is there, generating drag. I've been a little bit conservative of most of my legs. I think, you know, I'm gonna be fine with range. I've got my plug surfing card because navigating Europe's charging network is a pain in the ass. But I think I'm prepared. Yeah. I try to remember how many Let's Ride episodes I had estimated this at. I think it's something like 80. So I hope you like this trip because you're going to be watching it for a long time. I'll do some travelogues as well, and that'll be fun. Yeah. So, let's see. Electric forecourt was April, right at the end of April. It's now right at the end of July, so that's a few months. What's been happening in the last few months? Okay, well at the start of May, I got the keys to my new house. Woo! Which is why I'm in Nottingham, because I live in Nottingham now. That's been an adventure, for sure. I was super busy in May, and that's why kind of a lot of my videos dropped off. I especially regret the lack of Saturday videos. I've actually got a Saturday video prepared, I just haven't scheduled it because I haven't done a preview for Twitter. I might schedule it and then advertise it on Twitter when I get back. But yeah, I was very, very, very busy in May. The house needs a lot of redecoration and it needs a little bit of work. It needs a rewire mainly. I've been busy with a lot of that. No. Yeah, I've been busy with a lot of that. And then the end of May was the furry convention. Confuzzled was on. I had a really great time at Confuzzled. Absolutely brilliant time. And then after Confuzzled, I had a friend from Sweden over for a few days. And we both had COVID. We caught it at the con. So those few days turned into 10 days. And for pretty much the whole of those 10 days, we were still testing positive in varying degrees of being feeling ill. And yeah, I mean, he is a really good company. We both really enjoy our company. But when you're forcibly stuck indoors like that, and especially for him because he's meant to be at home in Sweden and he's got stuff to do with things, and he's not even getting to enjoy that time by going out and seeing sights and stuff. That really sucked. The two of us just ended up with our social batteries completely drained, which is a shame. We didn't get on each other's nerves at all, so that was good. We managed to avoid that. Because as good as someone's company can be when your social batteries get that drained and you're stuck inside with them and everything, that can be really straining on your friendship. But it was nice to see him. That was the start of June, and then for most of June, I think I didn't really get very much done. I did a lot of video editing, so I got all of the NC500 West done, and I got all of the electric forecourt done. I did the Everest with Travelog, which is a Saturday video that I've got ready to go. That's pretty nice. Yeah. And a few odds and ends around the house. Working a little on my fitness. But yeah, just when you think back on a month and you're like, what did I do? They'll still try to take me off to a dual carriageway. I don't want to go on. But yeah, I did actually get stuff done. July then. July's not been an unproductive month. I still don't feel like I got anything done in July, but that's because it was a productive month on things that I really didn't want to be doing. I started out in July with doing a meet. I went to my first Nottingham meet, so that's my local meets now. Because I wanted to like meet people who are local and stuff. I met some really nice folks. I got some cute pictures. I got to understand where the meet is, what the form of the meet is. Yeah, that was a pretty good time. But literally 3 days before that, I got handed my marching papers by work. So I have been made redundant, which kind of sucks. But, you know, these things happen. How long are you going to be? There we go. I'm like, do I cut the video? Do I not cut the video? So yeah, I got made redundant. And that means that I spend a lot of July on recruitment. And I would have really loved to be spending that time on doing the house up, doing the house up, getting you know, some more videos done, you know, doing a bit of fitness stuff. The whole redundancy thing really just trashed my motivation to do fitness stuff. Because, you know, I don't really talk about it much, but I can be subject to the odd little bout of mental health, you know. But yeah, I spent a lot of July in recruitment. I took a week to gather my thoughts. Obviously, like, they put me on gardening leave pretty much immediately. That's how these things work. Yeah, like, I took a week to just gather my thoughts, and then I hit up Hired, and, you know, got the old resume out there. The thing about Hired is, like, if you have the right skills, Hired can be very intense. It's like a website where you put your CV up and companies come to you rather than the other way around. And if you have the right skills, Hired can be extraordinarily intense. And it certainly was for me. I think if you look at my calendar, you'd be like, oh, well, you know, at no point did you have more than 3 meetings a day. Yeah, but when you're actually sitting down to do those, it's a lot of sort of stress, nervousness, like preparation. It feels very intensive, and that's basically been the whole of my July. I think this week, today is Friday, this week has been week 3. And I currently have one offer, and I'm waiting for 2 companies to complete their offer process. One of them is still interviewing, and then they promised me they'd get back to me this week, but they haven't yet. And another one is concluded, and they're gonna make me an offer. They just haven't actually made the offer yet. So that's a nuisance. Oh, wow, okay. looks like I'm once again travelling on roadworks day. I think it's a bank holiday this weekend, actually. That's probably why they're getting it in already. Yeah, so I had really hoped to conclude the process this week, because, you know, then I could just go off and enjoy my holiday. But that's not happening. I'm sure, like, you know, it won't be that long. I'll find out Tuesday, maybe. I have a catch-up with the guys who already offered me a Tuesday, because they offered me like Thursday last week, and everyone else is dragging their legs. Well, I've said a lot more about this than I have about my house, but it's just like been really weighing on my mind. And also, I mean, moving house, and you know, moving house is something a lot of people can relate to, and decorating maybe less so, because, you know, I think probably a lot of my viewers maybe rent more. But on the flip side, like for a lot of people, having companies chase them down to hire them is not such a relatable experience. So maybe that's something that's different that you'd like to hear about, but I don't know. I find it boring. It's just something that I need to talk about to people. Now I'm rambling. So where was I? Oh yes. So I'm waiting for companies to get back to me. They might call me today, and that would be annoying because I'm travelling. I do actually have the ability to take calls on my motorbike, because of my cardo. But, you know, inevitably they will call me when I'm recording. And I'll have to be like, oh, I get a phone call, quick cut. And that'd be irritating. But what would be really nice is if I could start work in September again. Not that I particularly like love being at work or anything. I just, you know, everyone needs money, and I just bought a house, so, you know, that's a scary thing to have happen. It's like buy a house, become redundant. But also, like, the quicker that I get into work, the less of my savings that I burn. And that's important because I have plans for the house that rely on my savings. And I just don't want to spend that money right now. I want to aircon the whole house. But yeah, it has kind of had an interesting effect on this trip, because I'm going to be away for the whole of August, and obviously, like, I can't just take the whole of, I mean, I could just take the whole of August off, but then I would have no vacation time. Even with, like, my European holiday allowance and the fact that I carried some from last year and so on and so forth, you know, taking a whole month off would burn pretty much all my holidays. So I kind of took half the month off. I have a lot of sort of like working today, not working today, working today, not working today type stuff. And I've booked hotels and set up time with my friends appropriately so that I would have places that I could work. And now I'm off for the whole month. And if they had told me earlier, I would have booked things slightly differently. But, you know, I'm gonna make do with all of the stuff that I've booked that I have booked. It's going to be very interesting. I might get an extra country in that I wasn't going to get in. I don't know. We'll see. Nah, Google is not going to direct me through this town. I need to find somewhere where I can quickly stop. Who's behind me? You are not a cop. Let's be cheeky. Where are you directing me? Oh, I totally can't see that. Okay, that's the correct route. That is the correct route. I'm about to turn off it, I think. Yeah, okay. Now give me a direction.
In 300 yards, turn right.
Yeah. I could fit through that gap. I have to do some awkward maneuvering though. Let's do that now. Yeah. So I'm gonna have more free time than I thought I would have. That has made like some of the routing a little easier. Some of the scheduling kind of had to work around work, but now it doesn't. So that's going to be nice. I think there's a few days where like I was going to do a little bit of like travel in the evening, and I would be limited in how I could video because, you know, obviously I got limited time before the sun goes down. But now I can basically leave at my own schedule and on Google, give me a direction. No? Okay. You told me to turn right. You literally told me to turn right. Why can't I trust you, Google? Why can't I trust you? Why can I not trust? Shut up. Why can I not trust you?
Turn left, then turn left.
You said turn right, so I turned right. And then you're like, oh, you shouldn't have turned right. I'm like, don't tell me to turn right then. Ugh. But I am going to try and not complain too much about Google in this trip. Because when I was editing the electric forecourt videos, wow. Oh wow, do I complain about Google a lot. I don't know if it's just that series or if it's Aberystwyth. No, Aberystwyth I didn't really complain about Google a whole lot. Yeah, electric forecourt, just every video was just like complains about Google. Tells a funny anecdote, complains about Google. And I'm just like, okay, this is bad. So I'm going to try not to, but inevitably Google is going to do stuff like this, and it's going to get worse in the continent. Because I'll be in strange places that I don't know, and they'll have confusing signage. You know, I know stranger to like the Continental signage and stuff, but it's not what I'm used to.
In a quarter of a mile, turn left.
All of these things kind of add up. But yeah, I do of course have my least favorite piece of luggage, my trusty tank bag, which is my least favorite piece of luggage simply because it obstructs the cruise control buttons. This is something I've talked about before, I think, sometime. I don't know if I've ever videoed with it, actually. I don't think I've ever videoed with it. I am making use of the fact that it is there, though. I've got some notes. Yeah, this way. I've got some notes here on top of it. I think I turned left up there at the BP. Because kind of behind the scenes magic, Let's Rides are very they're very heavily planned, and these ones, this series, is a little less heavily planned. I normally have like stops with directions. I'll like record 2 episodes, and then I'll have a stop at the end of the second one that I'm not even like specifically doing anything at. It's just that stop is there for me to read my instructions, and that's fine for a lot of trips, but it's not okay for this trip. It's too much faff. So I've kind of just like broken down each leg of my trip into a set of videos, and I've written down kind of like a
Quarter of a mile. At the roundabout, take the first exit.
a couple of names of places or landmarks where I can stop at, and those are gonna help me figure out where I'm going. And I've written down today's on this extremely bright piece of paper. I think it's like a big post-it note, actually. And those are going to be my episode stops, basically. And they're going to be longer, so that's something that's going to be interesting. Generally speaking, Let's Rides so far have been somewhere between 50 minutes and 25 minutes, with the odd ones stretching out to like 30. These ones are... I don't think there's any of them that are less than 30 minutes. Now that's, you know, Google Maps estimated travel time, 30 minutes. Reality can be very different, but yeah, that's how I've estimated it. And I think the longest ones, I haven't stretched any out to an hour. I think it's between 30-ish and 50-ish minutes. And personally, like, I don't think anyone really minds the longer videos, but also it makes it easier for me, and I have less planning and less things to memorize. And also, frankly, 80 episodes is going to have a really, upside, I'm not going to need to like worry about recording you Let's Rides for a while. So there is that. I guess if I were smart, what I would have done is just clipped out Melton Mowbray. I should have thought of that. Should have thought of that. And we're in someone's village. And we're going to be courteous to them because it's good. Yeah. I guess my regular watchers are probably like really tired of hearing about how you should respect people's villages and stuff. But
In a quarter of a mile, turn left.
the thing is, not everyone who watches these are regular viewers. So I think probably at least once a series, or in this case, maybe once a day, I'm going to bring it up.
Turn left.
So, I come from the country. I grew up in a rural community, and in my opinion, it can be very annoying to slow down to like 40 or 30 or sometimes even 20 to go through like a little village. But this is someone's home and you're a guest and you should behave appropriately. Because, yeah, it is really, really annoying when you're just like trying to enjoy your little community and guys come roaring through on bikes, you know? It's important to remember that for you, this is an irritating roadblock. But for the people who actually live there, that's their high street. And they're just trying to get to the shop on the other side. And they're just trying to walk along, like walk the dog or have a nice stroll. Or, you know, just enjoy the nice day. Sit on a park bench or whatever. You shouldn't be just roaring through, you know, revving it out, doing like 45 or 30. It's not okay. There we go. That's my PSA for today. There definitely, probably won't be any more. Where were we? We're talking about this series. Oh yeah. Okay. So obviously it's 80 episodes long, and this bit is going to be very different from some of the later bits. It kind of doesn't make sense to do the whole thing as like one series. I keep checking, I keep like reaching back and touching my back. It kind of doesn't make sense to do the whole thing as one series. I will probably like split it up somehow. Like today will be a different series from tomorrow. I might do like, I might do Saturday, Sunday as one series because they kind of fit together a little bit. But then the kind of writing on Saturday is very different from the kind of writing on Sunday. I'm gonna be nice to this guy. You gonna take the piss? Of course you're gonna take the piss. That's what I get for being nice to people. But yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out some ways. But I mean, I don't have to do it now. I'm just gonna do intros with no numbers and not even state like what the series name is because I'll get it wrong of it anyway. I did for Electric Forecourt. I changed what I wanted to call it halfway through. welcome to another episode of Let's Ride! And just like leave it at that. I don't think that's gonna be good. I'll call it Around Europe, maybe. I don't know. I kind of was thinking of that one. I don't want to call it Across Europe because it's like coming back. It's around. There are a couple of days when I'm not going to be recording. I'm not recording. I have very, very little motorway planned for this trip, but I do have like a couple of days that are just all motorway. I'm not going to be recording them. And that's mainly in the return leg. And again, you know, if I had known, I would have just taken the extra day so I wouldn't have to do that. Oh well. But I guess Around Europe works. Yeah. What's really hilarious is I'm going to record an outro on all of these, and then like halfway through their run, something in the outro will change. Like I'll switch from coffee to Patreon or something. She was giving me a weird look. I love that. Sometimes people are like, huh? Because it sounds weird. Like it doesn't sound like a motorbike. I really love this bike. I am super interested to see how it handles this trip. It has already surpassed my expectations because, oh wow, maybe I'll like, in editing, I'll like just like insert a little picture of like my table where I've laid out all of my luggage, but the amount of stuff that I'm carrying on this bike is legitimately impressive. Actually, I should probably jack up the preload a little bit, just for that. But like, I just have the two like Energica saddlebags. I've got the Energica tank bag, and I have like an 80-ish liter, just like duffel bag strapped onto the back, and then underneath that there's a little bit of a void. And one of the issues that with strapping bags to the back of this bike is that the bag is sort of balancing on the pillion seat, and it's only really supported in the middle, and then when you push it like back from you, it is sort of hanging off the end, and it can block the light. So what I've done is there's a void on either side, sort of between the saddlebags and the bag that's strapped to the seat. And I've just wrapped my running shoes in plastic bags, shoved them in that void and strapped them down. It worked out really well, and what that does is, firstly, I get to bring my running shoes without like taking up space in the rest of my luggage. And secondly, I am supporting the strap bag. So giving it extra support so it doesn't wiggle so much. And so that, like, it has two bars along the bottom that give it rigidity. And you know, one of them is hanging off the end of the bike, but it's resting on top of the shoes, which are resting kind of on top of the saddlebag, which are strapped on, and it's all like nicely supported. And what that means is you can see the light. It does, like, the light is now in a little tunnel, so it's a little, you know, it's a little less visible from different angles, distance, but it's visible if you're behind me, which is really all that matters because it's the only place you're going to see it from anyway. If you're a truck, it's probably less visible, but yeah, the license plate holder is lit up, and sort of the area like around the light will be kind of red from reflected light. So, yeah, Tilton Hill. Aha. That is near to the end of the episode, but it is not the end of the episode. There's a guy who likes to like be along that road on like Saturdays and Sundays. If there's a sunny Saturday or a sunny Sunday, he'll be out on that road with like a tripod set up. He photographs motorbikes as they come around turns. It's really cool. You can pay him to get your photograph. Like if you spot him there, you can go to his website and look for a picture of you. They're all like watermarked and stuff, and you can just like pay him a couple of bob for like a picture of you getting the knee done or whatever. It's pretty cool. It's a very interesting sort of, I don't know, is it a hobby? He's getting paid for it. Could be a hobby. It might be his job. I don't know. He might be making enough off of it to like make a job of it. That would be cool. I know he has a picture of me because I've seen him out, but the last time I checked the website he hadn't processed it, and it was on the VFR as well. I should go check again if he actually has that photograph. I wouldn't mind. The VFR is like permanently covered in road crap though, so who knows how good it is. It probably looks alright, you know. But yeah. Is it? No, it's fine. When I look in the mirror, the bag is kind of like leaned a little bit, and I keep like reaching back and being like, is it okay? Is there? It's out. No, it's not slipped. But yeah. When I get to Cherwell Valley, I will adjust it a bit. Mainly because when I get to Cherwell Valley, I have to adjust it a bit anyway, because the charge port is under the seat, which means I have to mess around with the bag to get the charge port. It doesn't affect the shoes, it only affects the bag. But it is a nuisance. It's like one of the worst things about this bag. Like if you want a tour. But yeah, I'm going to talk about that and continue this thread next episode, because that quarter of a mile notice is for the A47, which is the end of this episode. So, yeah. If you've got anything to say, do say it in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like or thumbs up or whatever YouTube is calling it these days. And also check out some of my other videos. I have many videos. You might enjoy them if you like this one. If you do that and you do enjoy them, consider subscribing and hit the bell, of course. And if you'd like to reward me for entertaining you today, you can find my coffee link in the description below. Goodbye.